The marathon shuffle. Can we put this one to bed? Can we retire this? I want to talk about the difference between the marathon shuffle and base gliding. What are the key differences? And why learning to base glide could dramatically improve your overall efficiency and time by using it as an active recovery and an extremely efficient way to continue moving forward, allowing your heart rate to come down, and then merely dialing up the intensity to go faster. I don't know if it's somewhere along the line we've heard this: shorten your stride, shorten your stride. What does that mean? Your stride is just a distance between steps. If we were to watch you run in the sand and measure the distance between each step, each imprint in the sand, that distance, that's your step length. A stride is 2 steps. So what's happening is as we walk, we should see a small distance between each step. As we go faster forward, we should start to see an increase in the distance between each step, increasing the step length. But what's happening here with the marathon shuffle is the step length is so small, so short, it's extremely inefficient. And how's that occurring? What you'll notice is with the marathon shuffle, I'm not leaning my weight forward. My weight is vertical. I'm more pulling my legs forward and inhibiting and limiting them from extending back. And remember, the back, that's where the magic happens. How we move forward, think of the analogy of the canoe in the water. I put the paddle in the water and I push the water back to move forward. What the marathon shuffle is doing is like I'm hovering that paddle just outside the water and I'm doing just a teeny little baby push back, and then I'm quickly driving it forward in the air. Where do we get most of our power from? On the foot on the ground, paddle in the water, pushing the water back. Every action equal and opposite. So if I'm just relying on my hip flexors and moving my legs forward in the air and not maximizing the push back in the water, or with running, the push the ground back, extremely inefficient. So anytime if you're restricting or preventing natural movement from occurring, the only thing that can do that is the muscles. So with this, my hip flexors are preventing my hip from extending back, and then I'm using my hip flexors to also drive my leg forward. So my legs are just literally shuffling, taking short little distances. Versus in the base glide, you'll notice I start to lean forward, lean my momentum forward, which sets me up for success, minimizes braking, improves that relationship between my center of mass and the base support when I land and load through the ground to promote the one aspect of gliding, the momentum, the leaning. And the second part is you'll notice that I increase my push back. I increase the pushing the ground back, not limiting it. I'm allowing the paddle to go in the water and to push further back versus limiting it. And if I get from point A to point B in less steps, by having a greater step distance between each step, it's more efficient. Versus getting there in these quick, choppy steps where I'm not paying on the principle being moving forward. I'm paying on the interest. I'm just moving my legs so quickly and not maximizing on the work that I put in by pushing the ground back to move forward. So true gliding is 2 components: leaning, maximizing your momentum, or minimizing your braking, and 2, the propulsion, moving forward, not moving up and forward and bounding. And here's the real aha moment. If you can learn to do this, if you can learn to do a base glide, running at any speed, exactly the same. We're not limiting range of motion. We're not suddenly pushing down through the ground and going up in the air. All we're doing is merely amplifying the technique. The 3 F's. More force, putting more force through the ground. We're pushing the foot, the leg further back behind us and at a faster rate. Further, more force, and faster to move faster. And as a result, we'll see the distance between each step increase and we move faster. So marathon shuffle is actually doing more work than you need. Allow the hip to go behind you. Feel loose. Glide forward, maximizing momentum, maximizing your forward propulsion. I hope that helps. Please let me know down below. And as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for commenting. And in Tush we trust.